friendly neighborhood gamer genie. Let's get into it. And today we're doing a recap of the Cold Steel series. I'm on Cold Steel 3. So I'm going to do a quick recap on all of them. Mind you, yes, I'm going to read some of them. Just to get you up to snuff on what's going on in the game and where I am, and I will start a new game to watch you on these guys. I'm going to do an hour of the reading and then the other hour, maybe 2 hours minimum, in some of the gameplay. So let's get into it. And before I go any further, please like, subscribe, comment down below. Let's hope for I go any less. So, let's actually go into world introduction. Nah. Let's go there. Yeah. Okay, anyway. Way to Thors. Yes, folks, the Thors Academy. Prologue. The Way to Thors. The year was 1204 of the Spherian calendar, and across Erebbonia, spring was in bloom. At the esteemed Thors Military Academy, situated on the outskirts of the imperial capital, a new class was founded. It would be known as Class 7, and was comprised of 9 promising young men and women who demonstrated considerable attribute for the Arcus, a sophisticated new type of battle armament. Rein Schwarzer, son of ruled lord from the remote region of Ymir. Alicia Rinford, a daughter of the chairman of Erebonian's largest industrial corporation. Elliot Craig, son of the celebrated general and a kind-hearted boy with harbored dreams of becoming a musician. Lara S. Azalt. I can't pronounce half of them, so bear with me, folks. Sorry about that. The daughter of renowned military family traced its lineage back to the knights of old. Macius Regnitz, the son of Helmdor's imperial governor. Emma Milstein, the class president and the Academy's highest score on the Academy's exam. And basically, she's the genius. And there's a whole different thing there. Each one of them have these little quirks here and there, but it's one thing you'll get into. Jusis Erebonia, son of Duke Erebonia, head of one of the Empire's 4 great houses. Yeah, one of those. Faye Klesambol, a Jaeger with extraordinary skill and strength and agility. So Jaegers are just basically, they are a mercenary band. So I'm not going to go any further than that because we'll get into it. And Genus Warzel, an exchange student from the land of Nord, boarding the Empire to the north. North, get it? Gathered together by the homeroom teacher, Sarah Velstein. Sorry guys, Velstein. They were put through a difficult trial. Some were quick to work together, others less so, but eventually all were able to surmount the challenge they faced. They were then asked to decide whether, knowing the difficulty of the curriculum, they still wish to be part of Class 7. So basically they asked, do you want to join us or not? It's up to you. Each had its own, or his own, reasons, but each ultimately decided to call the call. And the day Thor's newest class began. So, mind you, that is the prologue above anything. Yeah, that's the prologue, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so I'm gonna do a few things. I'm gonna recap whatever I can. April came, and the students of Class 7 were already gripping through their challenges, coursework. They received a sudden announcement that they were taking part of an unusual program series of field studies. Basically missions, you know, some of them recon, some whatever. The class would be split into two groups, each sent to a different location in the Empire to assist a local township. Group A would be a rural town of Cleric, famous for its grand market. Though their tasks, they gained a greater understanding in one another, and all appeared to be going well on the surface. But that came to a sudden halt when they discovered that two market stalls have been vandalized during the still of the night. Determined to find the culprit, Group A made their way to Lendoria Park. They found and apprehended the group of bandits responsible, but they were immediately surrounded by a provincial army, who turned out to be in league with the bandits all along. Just then the situation grew more dire by the second. The railway military police, led by notoriously brilliant Captain Clare, swiftly arrived at the scene. As thanks to their timely intervention, that the provincial army was forced to retreat, and the bandits were dutifully arrested for their crimes. Their very first study at the end boarded a train to Tristia and reflected on the events that transpired over the course of their study. It was then that Reen confessed to his fellow classmates that he was adopted, a son of Bord, a noble. Surprisingly, though, it may have been not a single one among them that thought any less of him. Basically, guys, they were best friends. They heard, "Oh, I'm adopted. Yeah, I'm not a real noble," and everybody was like, "Okay, so you're still you, Reed." Basically, that evening collided with smiles, each of them blissfully unaware of two ominous figures who are watching their train head into the distance. Dun dun dun! Alright, Chapter 2. May came, filling the town of Trista with greenery. Meanwhile, Class 7's schedule was growing busier by the day. Reen found himself at odds with Machias for keeping his noble status a secret. But he also learned more about his fellow classmates, including the fact that Emma was caring for a black cat named Celine. As the days passed, the time of their second field study, and the newly organized Group A was assigned to Jesus' hometown of Bearhorde. This would hardly make the trip easy, however, as the utterly incapable Jesus and Marcus were forced to part of the same team yet again. To the surprise of no one, the boys were bickering in record time. Basically, okay, so Jesus is the guy, the blonde, the noble, and Marcus is the guy in the glasses. They kind of hate each other for two reasons. One, Marcus kind of has a big issue with nobles. It's mostly because the nobles in this game are very pompous. They're very uppity, like you would expect a noble to be, and Marcus just can't handle it. And Jesus is kind of uppity, but in a very lower key compared to his peers. So yeah, he knows that he's a noble. He knows all that. He even tries to be uppity, but at the same time he's humbled about it, despite Marcus's issues. Yes, they bickered a lot. The trivial squabbles, one after another, resulted in a number of setbacks. Something that cleanly aware when one particularly heated argument resulted in Reen sustaining injury during battle. Despite his moments of frustration, they had at least felt that they were able to fully complete their assigned tasks. To add to the growing unpleasantness, however, they were given a stark reminder of how grave the tensions between nobles and reformists faction were. So the reformists, I mean, it's really hard to, and not really hard to explain. Basically, they just want to restructure everything so everybody is equal and happy, but the problem is the nobles, they want to keep their status quo, obviously. It's that simple. It's that they clashed most of the time, and the guy with the glasses, Genus, his father is the head honcho. He's like the spearhead of basically saying, "Hey, nobles, give us some rights." And Julius is his father's basically can't stand the fact that hey, these peons think that they're better than us. They think they're just like us, but they're not. You see the problem here, folks. When they discovered that the provincial army had been greatly expanding its armaments. With neither of them able to get much sleep, Jesus revealed to Reen that his background is less perfect than anyone in Class 7 realized. His mother was a commoner, making him the mere bastard son of Duke Elaboria. So yeah, it's complicated. I didn't remember that, but it's been a while since I played the original game. This is the first game, mind you, folks. Marcus overheard this, stepping forward to the next morning to make peace, and their field study finally seemed as if it would go smoothly. No sooner had reconciliation happen was Jules abruptly summoned to his home, leaving the rest of his group in no choice but to proceed without him. Yeah, it was crap that happened, but yeah. They completed their morning tasks outside the city and with little trouble, but immediately upon returning to the Bearhorde, Marcus was arrested without probable cause by the provincial army. Mind you, the provincial army, they are owned by they are owned by the rich. So it was literally just basically a citizen's arrest without any just cause. Reen, Emma, and Fee agreed to rescue him was to be on top their priority. Their top priority was to rescue him, basically. As the three were discussing just how to go about it, they learned that from Bracer passing through Taval, a waterway that led precisely to where Marcus was being held. So bracers, think of any adventurer from any like anime or game or whatever, and you can imagine that's basically a bracer. So yeah, so an adventurer basically. Conventionally, the complex waterway led to quite a few places, including the Alburia Mansion. Sorry, they were soon reunited with Jesus this way, who had learned what happened and escaped from his home to set things right. As they approached a massive, heavy door, Fee, who revealed that she was once a Jaeger. Yes, like I know in the introduction she basically said she was a Jaeger, but it was to give us, the audience, that information. At this point, they did not know that she was a Jaeger. Made the impassable easily passable, and they were able to successfully free Marcus from his cell, thanks to Fee, which is the shorter one. On their way out, they were cornered by two large dog-like beasts from the military. Yeah, they were using monsters as weapons. Go figure. However, thanks to no smart part to Jesus and Marcus forming a successful combat link, they emerged victorious. So combat links, that's another thing. So the Arcus they were talking about earlier, it was basically a battle. Basically, a battle amplifier. It helps connect everyone in the party, right? And combat links in this game, it's really self-explanatory, kind of. It's basically, you combine two people with enough ability. Mind you, it increases throughout the whole game if you leave it on certain people. But when you connect them together, their abilities go, and there's even a point where they can actually do successful combo moves. It's actually really cool. But their celebrations were short-lived, as were surrounded yet again, only this time by a provincial army. Even having Jesus at their side gained them no sympathy. So yeah, basically, these guys went, you're under arrest, and no, it does not matter that he's there with you. It's only when instructor Sarah and Rufus, Jesus' older brother, appeared that they were saved from peril. So basically, their teacher said, touch them and I'll kill you. Literally. She didn't say it, but she gave them that look, and the brother was just as scary. Group A's field trip had to come to an end, but as no much less passive note compared to the first. On the train, they gloomily decided to find factional conflict everybody faced. So basically, there was an issue here because of the factions, obviously. And that's one of the biggest contentions between these two characters, is their parents are at the opposite ends of the spectrum. And that's why they kind of start hating each other. But as working together, they start realizing, hey, we're not too far from this shit. Like you and me, man, we're kind of on the same bearing. And that was the whole point of this. Attempted to cheer them up and succeeded, even if it was just because they were laughing at her, not with her. Yeah, she has that personality. It's like she did something really dumb. I can't remember what it was, but it was so stupid. It was like they couldn't help but laugh. That's why I love her. She's so cute. Meanwhile, a mysterious young girl with a silver puppet nonchalantly watched them depart. Everybody's watching them, seriously. Alright, let's go. Beyond I'm not gonna go too far into all of these. So basically, each one of these, they did a lot of things. So let's go with. I'm skipping 3 mostly because I can't remember what it was. Well, I guess you could go into it if you guys want it. Go ahead. Beyond the Railways, sure. June. However, the beginning of the class's first midterms, as well as an onset of Tristia's reigning season. In the midst of this, Renfield's family maid, Sharon, had appeared caretaker of the Class 7's dormitory, and with her came a revelation that Alicia was the daughter of Renfield's company's chairman. So basically, in a way, not really royalty, but she's definitely rich. So basically, everybody here is rich, or at least has a connection to a political figure. Well, at least in Class 7, anyway, for the most part. All performing to the best of their abilities. Class 7 scored better in their midterms than any other class. The news didn't go down well with the nobles of Class 1, of course, and the besmirched upper class students challenged. Yeah, oh yeah, now I remember this one. Class 7 was victorious here as well, leading to the trade of insults of Patrick Himes, and were only stopped by Genus's interference. The time had come for Class 7 to prepare for their next field study, and Group A's latest destination was Nord Highlands, Genus's home. Ganas's home. So remember the foreign exchange student? Yeah, that guy. The guy with the long hair. The journey was unexpectedly longer anywhere they had been previously, and while briefly stopped at Rohr Station, they encountered Alicia's mother, Chairman Arenia. After a grueling 8-hour journey, they finally reached the Nord Highlands in the northeast. 8 hours. Eesh. It was plain to see how Genus had grown up with endless patience and kindness upon meeting his family, who gave the group a warm welcome. After a night's sleep, they took off on horseback to begin working. And it was actually a very cute story. It's like, because the guy has like all kinds of brothers and sisters, and every single one of them just like tackled everybody, and it was actually really adorable. The Highlands were as vast as they were beautiful, and their time spent there was both challenging and rewarding in equal measure. During their stay, they also happened to meet the former chairman of Renfield Group, Gawain Renfield, Alicia's grandfather. At night, while gazing up at the stars together, Alicia privately told Reen about the discord between her and her her mother, as well about when she lost her father. Yeah, it made me cry. Oh my god. Gloomy as her expression was in the beginning, she felt a weight being lifted off her shoulders. Any longer they talked, and it was soon replaced by her usual sweet smile. Unfortunately, the night ended with her cheeks turning as red as their uniforms when she realized her classmate had overheard part of her and Reen's conversation. Yeah, there was a later conversation, if I remember correctly, but that's in another game, so it's not in this one, or at least the later part of this game. The next morning, they were informed that the watchtower surveying the border of the culvert Republic had been under attack. The previously peaceful highlands suddenly became tense, with airships from both sides ominously circling the skies. And knowing that war would break over a misunderstanding at any moment, Group A mentioned to conduct their own inquiry into the true culprits responsible. They found out that just who was the culprits from the unlikely source: Millium, the strange girl accompanied by the silver puppet. It was her help that made their capture swift and decisive, although the man pulled the strings known as G, or Gideon, managed to make his escape. Thanks to both. So basically, it wasn't the girl, and I'm sorry if that sounded what it was, but it was the little girl, Millium. She helped Group A into trying to figure this guy out, and then this guy goes, haha, poof, disappeared. So basically, the intelligence division's captain, Lecter. Yeah, Lecter War was successfully averted. Captain Lecter quickly arrived to take control of the situation as he left, taking Millium with him. It was then discovered that she was also from the intelligence division. Later that evening, Sarah and Sharon both witnessed G and a masked man departing on a black airship. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is Julius's family. I mean, like I said, it was a cute thing. Like, everybody was like, oh. The next morning, Group A bid a sad farewell to Julius's family and Gwen. Their field study was over, and it was a cute story. I loved it. They left the land of Nord behind, knowing full well that the experience had been one they would never ever forget. Mostly because they I mean, I can almost imagine, you know, folks. Okay, so Midsummer's reveals. July had come and process were under for Helamar's month late celebration of the summer festivals. At the academy, the addition of swimming lessons to the schedule put a spring into the step of Reen and his friends. However, Laura and Fee's already strained relationship was reached a breaking point due to a gulf between their beliefs. A surprise visit from Elise, Reen's younger sister, led to an argument between the adoptive siblings. And when Reen saw her in danger soon after, he lost control of a strange power that dwelled within him. Fortunately, Crow stopped it to help him and ultimately no one was harmed in the incident. Before you guys ask, think of it as kind of how, you know, if you guys ever seen Dragon Ball Z, there was like a false Super Saiyan. It was similar to that, and according to the lore, it's called Ogre Power or something like that, and that's his ability. So they're going to the capital, Helmador, which is Genis's hometown. The guy with the glasses. They worked their tasks for Governor Regnance, Genis's father, and show strength by Elliot led, and a show of strength by Elliot led Laura and to settle their difference between So basically, they had a duel. After the battle, Faye really revealed that the Jaeger Corps she belonged to was among the strongest and was called Zephyr. After opening up to one another, their uncomfortable feud seemed to be put to rest once and for all, as much to Marcus's and Reen's joy. The next day, a visit to Marcus's house led him to reveal some of his own past. Revealed his story by telling his classmates that his hate for the nobility was slowly subsiding, something everyone warmly welcomed. Well, yeah, because I mean, your true hatred for these people, it's not like you really hate them. It's just it was born of malice and circumstance, and sometimes it's unavoidable. Now, back to work. Class 7 received a series of frustrating and obtuse riddles from the famed Phantom Thief B. Yeah, it's a really cheap joke, challenging them to find something he had diligently stolen, the Crimson Tiara. Undoubted, they rose to the challenge. Once they had recovered the tiara, they received a call from instructor Sarah. She asked them to gather at St. Astra's, a girl academy, the school that young Elise attended. Remember, guys, Elise is Reen's younger sister, adopted younger sister, but still. To them, it didn't matter because that's who they were. It's like, hey, you just because I'm adopted doesn't mean I'm not gonna love you any further. I love you because you're my sister. That's how that was. They even met with Elise before the gates of Center Area, and she led them to this stunning it was a really cool place, where stunning Rose Garden, however, was the site of the Princess of Erebonia, elfin race Emila. Even Prince Albert, chairman of Thor's board of directors, came to meet them. Ooh, high class. That night, the prince informed them of the reasons of their class was put together. He explained his desire to cultivate the youth of tomorrow, those who could overcome the conflicts of the world, which is understandable. I mean, that's kind of the point. In a lot of times, in a lot of situations, it makes perfect sense, in my personal opinion. However, he warned that the other directors had their own ideas on how they wanted, what they wanted from class. Well, yeah, because they had a lot of them were from either faction, so it makes sense. It was from that reason where they were all left pondering harder than ever about what they could do and should do as a class. Several other strange conversations followed, such as when they found out Sarah had once been a bracer, or Reen was invited to Elfin's dance partner to be... Oh, yeah. Reen got an invitation by the princess, and everybody was like, what? And finally, they were asked for help with an important mission by Captain Claire. Mind you, think about this, guys. She's asking all these little 16-year-old kids, hey, I need your help, guys. The fact that she's asking these kids on a military matter, that just means these guys are top of the top, creme of the creme. And no, not because of the nobilities, nothing of that nature. Because every single one of them has the skills to pay the bills. The Next morning, they began their patrols of festival as requested. The parade came to an end without incident, but just as they were clear, chaos erupted in the plaza, basically. Reen and his friends quickly realized this was a diversion, and leaving Toa in charge, they hurried to the Princess Elfen's side. Upon arrival, they found the guard party where she was in audience under attack by the terrorists. The attack was led again by G, and the Princess Elfen and Elise were both taken hostage. Reen's party pursued them both beneath the city. G summoned a mighty bone dragon, and while quite the challenge, they were able to defeat it. Though the bone dragon fell, 3 more members of the terrorist group made their appearance: V, S, and their leader C. C challenged Laura, Reen, and Faye to a duel, and his victory proved both swift and effortless. It wasn't long before the railway military police found their way into the catacombs as well, and terrorists fled the scene, triggering an explosion in the process. As they made their escape, they finally announced their organization's names: the Imperial Liberation Front. The 3-day-long festival came to an end, and Class 7 readied themselves to return to Tristia. They were seen off by Princess Elfen and Elise, Governor Reinetz, and the Crown Prince Cedric. But before they could leave, an unexpected man arrived to also bid them farewell. It was the Blood and Iron Counselor, Gilith Osborne, the man behind driving the Bracer Guild from Erebonia, most of Erebonia. Disregarding that, Sarah was clearly not happy to see him. He gave his own encouragement to Class 7, telling them nurture the bonds you share, and train up their bodies, wheels of steel. As soon as he spoke, Reen felt the ache in his left side of his chest, causing Elise to look on in concern. I can say more about that, but it's really hardly... I really can't. Okay, so signs and omens. The heat of August beat down upon Trista, but none of Class 7's nobles elected to return home, as were their right. So it was that all their present to grant 2 surprising mid-year additions to class. The first was a familiar face, a second-year student, Crow Armburst, was joined in the ranks in order to make up their credits, while the second, young Milliam Oren, was an operative with intelligence division they had met in the Nord. So basically, Crow and Milliam became their new party. It wasn't long before Milliam fit in so well. It was as if she had always been there. The time for their next field study came, and the Group A was sent to Laura's hometown of Lingram. And once they completed their field study tasks, they would instructed to meet with Group B and travel to Goloria Fortress. In Langram, they were reunited with Toval and helped him train several Arside school students. Reen also had the chance to duel Laura's father, Viscount Arside, also widely known as the Radiant Blade Master. The Viscount sensed Ren's fear of using his hidden abilities and forced him into utilizing them anyway. And though this, he taught him the importance of accepting yourself for who you are. The next day, the noble faction's leader, Duke Kayan, paid a surprise visit to the town. Troubled by the recent developments in faction, Viscount Arside left Langram with Toval, and Group A left to the town while completing their remaining assignments. That night, they had to travel nearby castle to rescue two young girls who had wandered inside its precious corridors. Thanks to Emma's knowledge of the occult and the timely aid of a mysterious knight, they managed to do so. The next night, they departed Langram as per their schedule and made their way to the Keldic station to meet with Group B. There, they saw a special train taking Chancellor Osborne and Prince Ulvert to the trade conference in Crossbell. To Reen's surprise, he saw it pass in slow motion, as he could clearly see Osborne, Oval, and Toa on board. The two groups reunited soon thereafter, finally making their way towards Goloria Fortress. The fortress stood in the vast wall between Erebonia and the long-standing enemy of the Culvert Republic, while also possessing two huge railway guns capable of targeting Crossbell City, which stood between the two. Upon arriving, they were shown inside by Major Newhart, their military science instructor at the academy. They soon met Elliot's father, Lieutenant General Craig, and witnessed a military exercise. They were stunned by the overwhelming power the weaponry on display possessed. In the end, each of them left with the sinking feeling that all combat skills they were learning at Thor's were for naught. Once they recovered from the shock of previous days' events, they were given a lecture by Sora and Nova. They were soon bombarded with the news of terrorists attacking Crossbell, specifically the site of the trade conference. And no sooner did they heard that did fortress itself come under attack by out of control unmanned tanks. This was followed by the arrival of two black airships belonging to the Imperial Liberation Front. Amid the chaos, Class 7 resolved to aid Sara and Nort to subdue the terrorists. They learned their aim was to activate the two railway guns and use them to attack the trade conference. And and by doing so they intended to bury Counselor Osborne with little concern over many innocents died with him. After a fierce battle, Group A defeated S, now known as Scarlet, one of the terrorist executives. Meanwhile, Group B defeated V, revealed to be Vulcan, and together they were able to prevent the worst case scenario. Regrettably, both terrorists were allowed to escape by the sudden arrival of an airship, and the voice of their leader C delivered a chilling warning for their next attack before the airship took to the skies. Progressive chaos. In the summer, Thor's board of directors convened for their regular meeting. 3 directors, each related to the member of Class 7, debuted on how the academy ought to be run. They ended up voting on whether Class 7 would continue their field studies in light of the events of Gloria Fortress. Delivered a rousing speech in favor for their continuation, and in the end, all 3 directors consented, paving the way for their September's field study to go forward. Meanwhile, all of Thor's was in the midst of preparing for the Academy Festival that was scheduled for the end of October. And Class 7 was struggling to think of something that they could do with their small numbers. Eventually, inspiration came to them in the form of a hint from Toa. Their contribution would be a live musical performance on stage. Oh, dude, if you guys want to see that video, I recommend it, and it's actually really sick. Once they were unusual surprise sound, a crimson airship hovered above them. The name was the Courageous, and notably aboard were Prince Albert, Toval, and its captain Viscount Airside. It was decided that Class 7 had been taken to their field study located by airship, and everyone stepped on board. Basically, they went on airship. After the Courageous had shown off, the people of it flew to Roar, where Group A aligned. Was a large industrial city, home to the Rimfart Academy's corporate HQ, the Rimfart residence. Once there, they sat about working through the tasks Alicia's mother, Renia, gave them. But later that day, they came upon a dire conflict between the provincial army and the railway military police. Of course they did. These guys are literally just basically saying, hey, we're the nobility, we can do whatever the hell we want. The railway police said, no, we got laws for that, you can't do that. And back and forth. Refuse and Captain Claire's appearance preventing things from escalating further made it clear that something was amiss. That night, Alicia's mother was forced to cancel dining with them, irritating Alicia to no end. Later, revealed to Reen more about her family and her concerns relating to Irina's decisive work ethic. No sooner had they finished speaking did Reen call from Captain Claire, who asked if the two of them can meet privately in a nearby bar. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, folks. I remember that scene, and it was the funniest crap ever. Reen got reamed. I'm gonna be honest. He got into a situation where he went to go meet her, and I'm not even gonna read that. Fee went with him, and the entire time Fee gave him shit for no particular reason. It was the funniest crap ever. And it was funny because she was wearing like a cocktail dress and everything. It looked like an actual date. It was the funniest crap ever. No matter. And they actually talked about certain things. The next morning, Class 7 agreed to look into the conflicts themselves, along with their new field studies. So basically, they were checking out what's going down, what's happening. There was a fire at the factory in town. No sooner had been dissolved, but they received a word that the terrorists had been occupied. They had to go check out the mines, because the mines were it was a mine town, folks. It was literally, if this thing went down, shit would be down. The whole town would be literally in an uproar. The provincial army sealed the mine off under the pretext of protecting the hostages from being harmed, which is bullcrap, but it was clear that all that their true aim was to stop the railway from getting inside. So basically, this is our jurisdiction, we don't want you getting in here. Dude, we're trying to protect. No. This is us. We do this. We do that. You leave us alone. You leave this shit alone. That was literally their conversation. While Group A pondered their options, Alicia George arrived in the city after a long bike ride. Yeah, mind you, the biker babe there, she's also, kinda. I think she was one of the few ones that basically rebelled against her family. Like, full-on rebelled. Like, you could tell by the fact that she's a biker chick. Believing her family was involved in all this, and she had a duty to stand up and fight. Yeah, it was kind of awkward because I think it was her father that got in on it, and she couldn't stand the idea of it, and thinking, I gotta fix this. If my father made the problem, I'm gonna go fix it with my two bare fists. And yes, folks, bare fists. That's her fighting style. She literally beats the crap out of you, left, right, and center, and looking good doing it. They all agreed to help her, and Alicia went to see her mother to try to find another way into the mine. Renia, seeing her daughter's newfound determination, gave her a card key, allowing them to sneak into the mine. Yeah, it was more of a nonchalant. It didn't actually give her the key. It was more of, you mean this key? I cannot give you this in good conscience. She leaves it on the table. But in this case, I think I have... Right now, I have a board meeting, so I'm going to have to leave. As she closes the drawer with the key on the table, she leaves the room with the table. You see where I'm going with this, folks? That was literally the concept. They traveled through an underground passage connecting Roar and the mine and began searching for the miners. Partway through the mine, they found most of the hostages, and a group volunteered to take them back to the surface with them. Thanks to George's guidance, they eventually reached the central room where they found Vulcan. He revealed that he had once been a Jaeger, one that Fee herself knew of. They defeated him, but then the terrorist leader C appeared. Unlike their first bout in, however, Group A finally was able to best C in battle. However, C managed to escape and their place rose the familiar sight of terrorist black airship. At the moment the RMP, the Provisional Army, on the way in, they began bickering among themselves, basically saying, "No, we will arrest him. No, we'll arrest him." Bullshit like that. The divisive words filled the arena, and airship rose, and were all of a sudden replaced by a sound of gunshot. Its engine hit, the airship exploded into a violent mess midair before their eyes. Army saw that this is a vital chance to take control of the scene, but those hopes were quickly dashed when Prince Albert intervened. He effortlessly took command and ordered a full investigation into what happened, and all disputes were effectively dissolved. So basically, he went into the group, whistled loudly for everybody. Not really whistle, but he basically said, "Knock that shit off, you idiots! I want everybody to investigate what the happened. And if I see one more bickering, you're gonna get shot right there and then." Not really like that, but more elegant. Like, point is, man, it was crazy. In addition, Captain Claire and Sharon had a chaotic, cryptic conversation that very same night. I don't remember the conversation. It's been a while. The following so many events from the trails returning home. Intermission. Was summoned to Welfare Palace in Hemnar. They were recognized for their bravery at both Goldoria Fortress and the Sichuan Iron Mine. In return, out of the prisons had been requested none other by the Emperor of Erebony himself, Egrut III. They were both granted an audience with him, Empress Priscilla, Princes Albert and Cedric, and Princess Elphin. During their visit, they also encountered Councillor Osborne and Governor Regnance, as well as the heads of the four great houses, Dukes Albora, Cayenne, and Marquis Renger and Heims. Emperor Agent invited Class 7 to take a short vacation in the hot spring town that had ties to the imperial family. Yes, folks, it's the province Emir. That was none other than Emir, where Rain grew up. They went by special train, followed by a cable car for the last leg of their trip, and soon they found Ymir, which was full of foliage. Upon arriving, they were shown to the Phoenix Wings, a gift from the imperial family, where they would stay for the duration of their trip. They left their belongings in their homes and held a meeting to figure out everybody else's roles in concert of the academies. And while some members of the group had objections, everybody eventually agreed on Reen, Elliot, and Crow's various proposals. Afterwards, Reen was reunited with his father, Baron To Schweizer, and his mother, Lucia Schweizer. They were not related to him by blood, but they welcomed him as warmly as... One second, guys. Okay, sorry guys, family thing. They were not related by blood. Oh, yeah, basically, warmly as biological parents would. Basically, they treated him with love and compassion despite anything else. And it was a cute story. It was... Reen's father gave him a letter from Master Kafi, who seemed aware that Reen's was still hesitating. All his classmates could do as watch over him as he continued to do so. That night, after his classmates had gone to bed, Reen received a promising request from Alicia. She told him that her father had forced her to withdraw from the academy, and as a parting gift, she asked him to accept the orbital bike, her motorcycle basically. Unsure what to do, he was unable to answer immediately and decided to think about it in the open air bath. Talking to Laura and Alicia, there eased his spirits, but as they spoke, he saw something that shocked him. It was snow, something that he wouldn't have expected to see in early October. Snow continued to fall heavily while into the following morning, suggesting that something was amiss. Reen decided to find out what. In some ways, Reen took this as a chance to overcome a similar traumatic experience that had occurred 8 years prior. His classmates happily accompanied him without second thought. Soon enough, they encountered a great monster made of ice. After a fierce battle, they defeated it and came face to face with LeBlanc of Ouroboros. He was fascinated by the many mysteries surrounding Reen, when even going as far as to taunt him. But Reen refused to be taken in by such a pettiness, and Blanc was forced to retreat. In the end, they were able to stop a strange snow and return to Ymir unharmed. As Baron bid farewell to them, he handed his son a scroll that he had received from Master Kafai. It was an 8 leaves, 1 blade intermediate level scroll, which would give Reen a new target to work for. They said their farewells and finally left for the trip back to the academy, with Reen feeling as though they all grown greatly as a result of the experience. Last one on the first one, guys. Final chapter. Put to the test. Safely back from their brief trip to Ymir, Reen and his classmates began practicing for the upcoming concert. Under the watchful eyes of Elliot and Crow, they put all they had in the practice, and thanks to the in part of the fact that they weren't all complete amateurs, they finally were ready to perform. Time came to for the I'm not even going to pronounce that. I'm sorry, my brain is not working today. Reen chose a classmate to accompany him to collect the finished outfits from the boutique in Ymir, in Helmodar. But walking out with the outfits in tow, he ran into someone he hasn't expected to see. It was the famous opera singer Vita Claude, also known as Eresa Diva. Asur Diva, whatever. Though Reen was familiar with her as Misty and the host of a radio program in Trista. Having met her once already, Reen took the chance to invite her to attend the festival and watch their concert. The time finally came and the 2 days long festival began. Reen spent the first day helping the student council, visiting attractions and classmates in the spare time. As the day came to an end, Class 7 gathered for a final meeting to discuss the concert being held the next day. During their discussions, however, they heard the sound of a bell chiming from far away. The source of the chiming turned out to be the old schoolhouse that they had become so well acquainted with. So basically, the entire game, you go every now and again to go check out the bell tower in this old schoolhouse, and there were these. So basically, there was points where you had to go deeper and deeper, and the more you go in there, monsters got harder and harder to kill, right? And yeah, it was a pain most of the time because it was a literal labyrinth. Like, it took an hour and a half at bare minimum to get past one layer, let alone two. Given permission by the Sora and Principal Vidic, they descended to the lowest floor, each and every one of them. Guided by Emma and Clean, who seemed to know everything, they eventually found themselves. So basically, they were having to deal with this monstrous shadow. After basically they were knocking it down. Discovered a building that was on the door before them opened. So basically, a giant door was there, and they beat the monster, and this was it. On the other side stood a giant humanoid, 7 arch tall, so basically ashed. They saw a giant mech. Put the night out of their minds, and who came to visit was around the academy. During afternoon, they finally came to their concert. Each of them gave their performance. They finished both their songs when the audience flourishingly called an encore. Was prepared to perform a third. During their third song, the audience was involved in sing-along, and the concert proved to be an immense success. After the concert, the after-party began. Encouraged by Elise, Reed was also to spend one time with someone close to him. Unfortunately, the party was brought to an abrupt end, shocking publication from the Principal Vidic. He appeared to be telling and the East has vanished without a trace. Yeah. A week passed since the air of Borobonio was tense. Then after concealed the disappearance, the attack by Crossbelt State, and it surely announced the speech at noon, and chose to listen to the speech throughout the radio in their classroom. Only was missing having subsequently gone to hear the speech in person. Speech came. Words were forceful, productive, making it clear that it would end the declaration of war, not just against, but against as well, and who prevented backing the state. However, just as he was about to make a decisive declaration, the sound of a gunshot rang through the skies of the capital. The left side was pierced, and it collapsed to the ground, pool of his own blood. Spectators let out terrifying as they watched in horror. Sniper who shot him was none other than Z, the Imperial leader who was met in the end of Roar. And this true identity was revealed to be no former Crow. So basically, C was Crow. Yeah, I know. Weird, huh? Meanwhile, the students were unable to witness the whole events through the radio. At first, listening to what was happening, but Misty spoke to them directly. Yeah, Misty. After she spoke, the classroom was filled with echo and ear chat, and was happening before them. Emma shared details. Vita, the Witch of the Abyss, described as something of a sister to her. However, they were all shocked to what was happening, to pay attention to real action, attention to the words. So basically they were focusing on what was going down, not to the fact that Emma's a witch. And so basically humanoids immediately set and taking over the city. Mechs took over the city left and right. Yeah, and the nobles made these things. And no time at all they reached, making their occupation of the city complete. In the command of the operation they were Zephyr once belonged to. Basically, there was a big war going down. There was a big mess. Something was going down. Magics, mechs, and all that crud. Everything was going down all at once. And his classmates were allowed much time to process as they had just seen. Not long after the window, they realized that the soldiers were fast approaching Tristia too. Sora and the other instructors defended the west-east violently. They received the aid of Sharon, who revealed herself to an enforcer of Ouroboros. But while they had their funds full, another group of soldiers began to approach from east of the town. As soon as class protect east themselves. So basically, everybody else had their own quadrant, and the Class 7 had to do this. Battle for Trista began. First, Class 7 fought against Draken, aiming for the joints. They emerged victorious. They basically did everything they needed to do. They were powerless to defeat the much stronger unit, Scarlet. Until Rain resolved to use the power deep within him as a last resort. Dost thou desire the power? But before he could, he answered, responding in his mind. He stand there in empty space before him, Colleen urging to call the voice's name. Loudly and cloudly, he did just that. Heed my call, Lemire, the Ashen Knight. And with a bang, the humanoid had flown out of the... So basically, he flew out of there and said, "Yep, I'm here." He landed and returned to the core as long with... So yeah, he basically went in and did combat. Bam, 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 boom, bam, bam. With... And trust me, the combat for the Ashir Knight, it was very interesting. Whoa, hold up a second. Are you forgetting something? It came from above. Source of the voice, long blue, Divine Knight Reen was piloting. It was the Azure Knight, Alderan, piloted by none other than Crow. Reen to fight him after. He could no reason with them, despite aiming to avoid any further conflict. Yet refused to listen, and while he declared that code. knew it was never real. Nonetheless, Reen made one last-ditch attempt to change his mind. So this is the plan. If you win, huh? But what if I win? Reen trusted that could come back to him. The battle between the two divine knights began. The power of Crow's Usher Knight was immense. Fought back as hard as he could and found himself able to fight on equal terms. Finally saw the decisive opening he'd been searching for. Enlightened determination, the Usher Knight fell to his knees in the impact of Reen's attack. His classmate cried out in relief, but the relief was not to last. The moment Usher transformed, surging with mana, it drew closer to Ashen Knight. Stunned and all, single hit from sent back. His consciousness began to fade, and all he could do was wince in fear as the Ashen Knight. No, you don't. Between him and the Ashen Knight protective stance. Don't have the chance to defeat it, but they were determined not to let it draw any closer to Reen. Together, they resolved to buy him time to escape, believing that he could one day bring the war to an end. Reen tried to protest, but ordered Vamir to retreat the area. Reen carried out the objective, his consciousness. From outside, one of his closest friends bade him farewell. It was a clear voice from much clearer. So basically, he heard one last effort, fighting back tears. Reen cried out. Ashen Knight took to the sky. All he could do was watch from above as he helped begin. No, they need me. Let me stay. His cries sounded endlessly through the night crimson sky. Okay, so basically, to the end of what happened was all that happened, and that was the first game. The second game is basically him reuniting with all his friends and figuring out what was going down. And I'm gonna hit you with a big plot twist here. The was his father. Yeah, his biological father. And it was a trip when he found out about it, and he also found out that his friend Emma, the one with the girl with the cat, was basically a wizard, and she basically was trying to make sure that everything was in. She basically tried to make sure that everything from the past 1,000 years or something, all the magics and everything, were contained. That way it wouldn't cause any trouble to the modern world, that kind of thing. Yeah, again, like I said, there was troubles left and right. They got into a similar routine where they got together again. They went around helping his fellow teammates and recruiting him at the same time, gathering students from Thor's left and right. All this happening all at once. That was literally the premise of Trails 2. I recommend playing the game if you want to see more details. But one thing I loved about it was the fact that he grew stronger as a pilot, and eventually he did defeat Crow. But, and again, I hate to tell you guys this, but Crow did not survive the battle. And it wasn't Reen that killed him. It was, if I honestly remember correctly, it was some kind of freak accident that easily could have been avoided. But the problem was, Crow was the one that defended Reen, and of course Reen, barely understanding his power, did what he did. You know, he basically said, you know, I can't. So yeah, I'm gonna do this one, and I'm gonna go I'm gonna go with this one in the next couple of days. Yes, I'm gonna do the other ones in rotation, so enjoy that. But this one is definitely gonna be one of my rotation games. Yeah, I'm gonna do only 3 rotation games. Sorry, guys. So yeah, let's get into it. By the way, I just recapped the second game. This is the third.
Save me! I surrender. Just please.
How foolish.
Left wing! Block B intercepted. Now moving to our next area of attack.
Dead soldiers of a dead land, you have proven your pride. The pages are laid bare. It is up to us to pen their contents. Numerous foes approach. Though they aren't who we foresaw, their skills are still worthy of note. Now, we shall see if they are worthy of our final experiment as well.
Yes, my lord.
In the name of the Stahlritter, we shall vanquish these foes.
They'll learn what it means to fight us, and to come face to face with the strongest in Ouroboros.
Look at that!
It's a white ion.
That's the successor of the Type Alpha that wiped out Guerrilla Fortress.
As far as I can tell, it doesn't seem like it's functional at the moment.
I say we break it down piece by piece. We can waste it before our precious little Ashen Chevalier even has to lift a finger.
What about...
Have you forgotten our role as the second team?
So what? If he's got everyone's attention already, we might as well. We've got an ace up our sleeve. Now's our chance to finally get a leg up on that Glory Hound.
Glory Hound? He probably put a lot of thought into this, you know. But it is true, he's always rushing off on his own to save the day. Damn it! Now that I'm thinking about it, it really pisses me off!
I do agree to some extent.
I think he's doing a pretty good job, all things considered.
That's just what a real man is like. He tries to be strict, but melts into being oh so sweet. He'll spend hours caring for you before sparing a second for himself. Someone as dashing yet kind as him would make any girl's heart flutter.
What? Speak for yourself!
A player as clueless as him is the worst kind.
Yes. Very well put.
Agreed.
Harsh words, but he does bring it on himself.
Cheap shots all around.
Again?
Mind you,
They sure like to be flashy.
if you're
The animals are
asking
getting
who they're
shorter.
talking about,
The battle
you'll
must
see
be
you'll see in
reaching
a little
its
bit. I promise.
Time is of the essence.
That's one thing I love about this game.
Okay.
It's
Class 7, let's
how they
move out.
give poor Reen a lot of shit. And oops, I apologize. Yeah, they're talking about Reen Schweizer, our resident. And if you guys are wondering why they're calling him the Ashen Chevalier, it's based on his mech. It's based on his mech. It's called the
Let's
Ashen
start
Knight.
the battle. It's my turn. Yeah.
So
got
everyone
this.
has their own specific special attacks because of their weapons.
Weak.
Let's go. Ha! 8's down. Yuna.
I got it!
See, now that's what I'm talking about. What I was talking about earlier, when I was talking about the Arcus. Like, if you combine them, if you combine certain people, mind you, it happens with everybody, but
Okay, let's keep moving.
the more you combine certain people, the more their compatibility comes up, and the more abilities you can actually use. So keep that in mind, guys. Like, and one thing I love about it, it's a very unique relationship concept. It works. It really works. I think this is one of my favorite things, is their special attacks. Watch this, guys.
Behold, the dual blades of Vander. Now! I'll end it. Ha! Ragnar, strike! Now, let's continue onward.
That was a shock, wasn't it, folks? Yes, that was corny. But you love me that way, don't you? Anyway, let's get into it. And yes, the girl here has Tomfa. Blasters, that is. No kidding. No cap, guys. No cap. Her ability is basically either combat mode or...
Now, let's dance. I ain't done with you yet. Yeah! Helio Ray!
Damn! I forgot how rough that was.
Let's keep moving.
Becomes an axe to a sickle. Hey, it works for me. Yeah, everybody has similar abilities. Mind you, it really depends on their individual. And the coolest part is, the more you get into the game, the more abilities they actually achieve. Like, you can see more of these powers. So yeah, I recommend it if you guys ever want to play this game or the series, because it's one of my favorites.
They're huge. Cutting-edge
Yeah, they
machines
are.
employed by the Stahlritter.
One thing after another. What kind of circus is this?
An extravagant one with a high price for admission.
Agreed.
Class 7, our goal is to eliminate these...
Fire up those combat links. We got work to do.
Yeah! This one might be worth my time. Ja!
That's nice. But you could do this.
This is it. Ah! One more. I'll finish it. Excel Breaker!
Very well.
And by the way, guys, there is a difference between arts and crafts. Yeah, I know, right? I feel that. I heard it when I said it. But there's a difference. Arts is basically magical spells. You could do, whatever spells you have. Like, for instance, I have
Arcus,
abilities like
activate.
this.
It's my turn.
There's cast times up, obviously.
I'll cast a spell on you. So pretty. Brilliant shot! I may have gone a little too far.
I like it.
My turn.
Okay, and another thing. I'm gonna switch her.
Tag out.
I'll handle it.
You can see her ability.
Now, transform. Sync complete. Go, Arcadius Gear. Ready, launch. Brianna, open fire. Exterminating target. Ha! Ah!
Yeah. Let's go.
And as I was saying, what the guy with the swords did, it was art. His specials are basically crafts. He can't do. So I'm gonna do abilities like this.
Strike! It's down.
It's mine!
There we go.
Yeah! We did it!
Indeed. Good work.
See, that is the coolest part. And there are points separate
I
from
can self-destruct.
like your
Stand
ability
back.
points.
Clown Soleus.
There we go.
Thanks. That was a close one.
Thanks, Allie. And Sammy, too.
You're welcome. However, the name's Sammy.
I was hoping we would have a minute to ourselves.
Nah, we're too popular.
So you sensed us coming?
The Stall Ritter.
The Stout and the Sharp.
Hello. We meet again, children of Class 7. I didn't think you'd make it all this way on your own.
Do you intend to overcome certain death without the Ashen Chevalier?
Cute. Now cut the shit.
We know how much stronger than us you are, but we refuse to stand by as you do your bidding.
I respect that fire. I will give you my utmost in battle.
You'll do as a delectable appetizer before the main course.
Now, show me your strength.
Can you fledglings handle this?
My turn. Charging.
Yeah! Here I go! Yeah!
It's my turn!
Yeah!
Very well. Strike! It's down. Yuna!
I got it!
Yeah!
Yeah, I know. It looks opposite,
What
but yeah,
fun.
that's just how it is. It's basically you have to nail them to a certain point, and then yeah.
Indeed. They have quite a bite to them.
They're acting like we're nothing to them.
It's better to assume they're conserving their energy.
Why the hell are you two playing around? Stop wasting time before our main enemy shows up.
Ah, you're here early.
And so...
That's the head knight of the Stall Ritter.
Duvalita Swift. She'll be trouble.
She may be kind of a ditz, but she's fast.
Damn.
Who are you calling a ditz? Cocky little hatchling. Ines, Anea! We'll put a stop to them with our Radiant Star Formation!
Very well.
Don't hate us for what's about to happen.
It's just like...
That the best you got?
Prepare for...
Not so fast.
Ah!
Goodness!
Sooner than we expected.
We made it.
Excuse us. Oh.
How am I not surprised?
Told you. Glory Hound.
Instructor.
Why are you here? Weren't you supposed to be in the left wing?
The paths meet up here, so we decided to see how things were going for you.
Seeing all the paths firsthand, I understand why they call this fortress impregnable.
Leave them to us. We're almost there.
See you again at the tower. Yes, Instructor.
Thank you.
Fine. Just be careful.
Charging headfirst into your graves, are you? Don't say I didn't warn you. If you're insistent on challenging our lord, I will cut you down right here and now! 2 arms! Class 7! Ashen Chevalier!
Yes, folks, that was literally a prologue. That whole thing. A new tale of Erebonian Empire. Reen Schwarzer, Juna Crawford, Kurt Vander, Muse Eggert, Ash Carpet, Alicia. So basically, the original 7. Yeah, they all grew up. And yes, you get to meet every single one of these characters, eventually. Valimar. Yes, the Ashen Knight, Valimar. Yeah, mind you, this is later in the game. It's like almost, I'd say about 5 chapters in, minimum. Yes, folks, 5 chapters. That's how they did in the first game. They did the same thing.
Is Leaves. Leaves. We will be stopped for.
Special freight. And anything more special than a giant robot, ladies and gentlemen. Made of magic and enchanted armor. Valimar, the Ashen Knight.
Have we nearly arrived?
Yeah.
Yep. Our dear old friend, Rain
Schwarzer.
Schwarzer.
In Corellia Fortress this past month. And I'm sure this isn't exactly a first-class cabin either.
Not to worry. This is something that needed to be done. While resting, the drain on my energy is insignificant. Besides, if it will reduce the burdens you shoulder, I am more than happy to comply.
You know, I'd think there was a human in there if I didn't already know that was you talking.
Yeah, because originally he sounded like a pure robot, but now he sounds more human to human, you know?
Thanks, Valimar.
You are welcome.
Is this it? Aha! Sure is.
Crying out loud. I don't know what all the fuss is about. Do they really need us to supervise unloading this junk?
Huh?
Picture that going through a landing port.
Wow.
I'd heard about them, but seeing one up close is wild.
Wonder what they're doing here.
A 7 ards tall humanoid weapon. Panzer's...
No, I don't think so. Oh, this is the Ashen Knight, isn't it?
Get out of here.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I wouldn't have expected a civilian to know that, much less someone from outside Erebonia.
Let's just say I'm a little interested in things.
A little? Your whole family goes nuts for this kind of stuff. But how'd you know we're not from around here?
You have just the tiniest sliver of an accent. I'm guessing you're from somewhere down south? Liberal, maybe?
Is it that easy?
Bingo. So what? That makes you the Ashen Chevalier?
Yeah, I'm surprised you knew that too.
Schwarzer, are you back here?
This guy. Originally, they had a big beef in the first game, but they eventually got to the point was like, hey, we're fellow activists in this and thing. He was originally supposed to be on his father's side, which is one of the 4 factions of the Noble family, Noble faction. But like of all the other ones, there's only one noble house that even remotely is right now. And you'll get to see that later in the series. Like I said, there's a lot of things that happen between the first, second, and third games. I'd recommend checking them out because they're actually really cool.
All set. I'm good to go whenever.
Sorry for holding you up. We gotta get ready ourselves.
That's right. Thanks for talking with us.
Who are those two? They didn't appear to be your everyday civilians.
They're from Liberl. I guess they're getting off soon, too. Something tells me I'll be seeing more of them at my new job.
Oh, as I admit, I have heard the rumors.
Now arriving at Leave Station. Leave Station. We will be stopped for 10 minutes to unload cargo.
It would appear little has changed. The Ashen Knight is as beloved by the masses as ever.
Well, I, tried to lay low this past year. I've turned down all the interview requests I've been bombarded.
It's little wonder, then. For a young hero like yourself, such actions only serve to grant you an irresistible air of mystery. The rumors of your role in the Northern War have, by this point, far outstripped the truth. My apologies. That was a regrettable slip of the tongue.
No, it's all right. It's just something I'll have to deal with. Thank you, Patrick. For the last 2 years, you've helped me out more times than I can count.
Well, that was 7. I have simply been performing my duty as a member of the glorious Class 1. Of course I could spare some consideration for a hapless classmate with barely enough attendance to graduate. One who has unreasonable tasks thrust upon him on a near daily basis, yet somehow manages to triumph regardless.
And you said I was sudden. You're serving as the deputy of the Marquis's family in Ordis now, right? I'm sure that's no walk in the park either, but I know you'll give it everything.
But of course. There's no way I can allow us to fall behind House Alberea. I recommend you do the same for whatever may come at your unique new workplace. And seeing as she is not so terribly far, do be sure to keep in touch with Lady Elise. Perhaps you might even put in a good word.
Thanks again for all your help, Patrick. But that's an entirely different matter.
It's like, no, you're not touching my little sister. I'll kill you if you do. He has that look.
Take care. Hope to see you again soon.
Indeed. Oh yes, it nearly slipped. About that pledge Class 7 made 1 year ago. I hope to see it come to fruition.
Oh.
That was nice of him. He can be a jerk sometimes, but he's very good.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah, there's a commonality in this. Yeah. Yeah. All that was literally just the pretense for the prologue. Funny, huh?
Well, here I am. I've never been to the suburbs west of Heimdall before. Almost reminds me of Trista. There are even lino flowers blooming here. Trista, and the Academy. I wonder how everyone who's still there is doing, and how Principal Van Dyke is after he returned to active duty. I never would have dreamed something like that would happen. That must be it there. I can tell it's brand new even from here. They said they'd take Valimar to the hangar on Sun.
Rean?
Huh?
Look down.
It really is you, Rain. Wow. The magazines don't do you justice. You look so mature now. Did you get taller too? I almost didn't recognize you.
Toa?
Oh, did you not recognize me?
I mean, at least she has a good figure for a shrimp.
I definitely haven't gotten taller, but I'm hoping my new work uniform adds some womanly charm. Or maybe shows that my figure's filled out a little bit more.
Oh, I see it.
Hold on.
It's like, don't go there, don't go there.
It's just, well, we haven't seen each other in a while, and I could never get a hold of you. Then you just show up out of nowhere, dressed for work, in the same town I'm about to start work? I never imagined we'd end up working at the same place.
Sorry, I didn't mean to surprise you. I thought you already knew.
Well, a lot happened before graduation. And after it. I'm sure you've heard all about it.
Of course. It was actually one of the reasons I decided to come here. But it sure was a nice surprise to hear you'd be joining me.
Same for me.
Well, anyway, congratulations on graduating, Rain. I'm sure there are plenty of other people who want to say that to you. But I figured I'd do it before anyone else.
Thanks, Toa. Wait, do you want something more professional, like Ms. Herschel now?
Don't worry about it. Toa is just fine. Remember what I said when we first met? There's no need for formalities with me. Miss Herschel is awfully tempting, though.
She hasn't changed a bit. So, Toa, you've been here a little while now, right? What's our new workplace like?
Well, I'm sure they told you a bunch of different things when you accepted your position, but I think this job is going to turn out to be a lot more difficult than you expect.
Will it? I've been mentally preparing myself for the worst. I just hope I'm ready. Have you already met all of our colleagues?
Yeah, we've all met. You're the last to arrive. I'll introduce you to them. But brace yourself, okay?
I feel like the butterflies in my stomach have turned into stampeding rhinociders.
It's okay. I'm in the same boat as you. Let's work together as fellow graduates of Thors and get through this.
Roger that. Oh, we're here. The color's different, but it's nice they kept the horned lion crest.
This is the main entrance to our new workplace. Welcome, Rean, to the newly established Thors Military Academy branch campus in Leeds.
Green Schwarzer, welcome. I am Michael Irving of the Railway Military Police. Branch campus though it may be, I will do my utmost to serve as chief instructor.
Well, well, lucky me. Didn't expect to run into such a celeb at a place like this. Name's Randolph Orlando. Got transferred here from the Imperial Army Crossbell Unit. I've been hearing your name all over lately. Pleasure to finally meet the man himself.
Rean.
I'm Rean Schwarzer. Just a rookie who recently graduated from Thor's main campus. Pleased to meet you, Major Irving, First Lieutenant Orlando.
Likewise. It's an honor to be able to work with the famous Ashen Chevalier. But keep in mind, we're not looking for heroics from Divine Knights here. We're only interested in your aptitude as an instructor.
Understood. He's from the Railway Military Police. I certainly didn't expect to find a ranking officer like him working here. Not to mention...
That look tells me you know a bit about my sordid backstory. Been peeking through the Intelligence Division's files, I take it.
Yes, I can't deny. From what I could tell, it was a pretty complicated situation that sent you here.
Not as complicated as yours, I'm sure.
Anyway, all of us instructors are here now. Major, Instructor Randolph, I'm looking forward to working with you.
Indeed. I'm curious to see what you'll bring here. Especially after you turn down a position with us.
So you knew about that?
Oh, that's so? You must be better than you look for I heard you graduated early. What are you, like 17 or something?
Actually, I'm 21.
What? Nuh-uh. You're seriously only 3 years younger than me?
4 instructors. That's about what I was expecting, honestly. Are we going to teach the entire curriculum among us, though?
Correct. There aren't many students, but it will still require great work on training, lectures, all manner of miscellaneous tasks. We will, however, receive assistance from the special advisor and the principal.
We have a special advisor? And what's our principal like?
Well...
And on cue?
Let's just say that out of all the people in this great big empire, I never thought I'd meet someone quite as intense as our principal.
And as I said, on cue...
Really?
Try not to be too shocked, okay?
You guys won't know, but... She's a significant.
You've actually met her before, Rean.
Thank you for waiting.
Speak of the devil?
Devil-ish, devil, whatever.
Thank you for coming.
Whatever is that slack-jawed expression for?
Professor G. Segment.
I believe we met during the Civil War. Or have you already forgotten my face? Not that I give a whit either way.
No, of course not. It's good to see you again, Professor Schmidt. I've always appreciated how you helped me with Valamar's Tachi.
As I said before, save it. Though my title is Special Advisor, I plan to focus only on my research. Do endeavor to make yourself useful to me, Schwarzer. Or should I say, Ashen...
He was one of Professor Epstein's disciples, right? Or maybe not. You sure he ain't some fake...
No, he's the real deal.
I'm starting to understand why I got hired here in the first place. I never imagined I would meet you here.
Well, it's been about half a year, hasn't it, Schwarzer? Well, since we've all gathered, allow me to say a few words about myself. During the Civil War, I was the general of the defeated Noble Alliance.
Yes, folks. She was part of the Noble Alliance. She basically was trying to tell everyone that she was wrong because she was a higher class, and she was a major party.
I then oversaw the Northern War, resulting in the annexation of Northumbria. But you may think of me as Aurelia Le Guin, principal of Thor's branch campus.
Rean.
All that packed into one woman. Guess it's not so crazy for you to be here after all, eh, Major?
Principal Le Guin, it's time.
Yes, Herschel. Gather up our fledglings and bring them to the ground.
Yes, ma'am. I'll see you soon, Rean.
Bah.
Alrighty, let's see what kind of guys and gals we got.
Schwarzer, see to it you aren't late.
Late?
To our entrance ceremony, of course.
What? I had no idea.
That would be because we set the date and time without telling you. You'll even be meeting your fledglings there. Exciting, no? Show them what it means to be the Ashen Chevalier.
It's starting to seem like the rumors about this place being difficult weren't exaggerations. All right then. I should probably put these on.
Yeah, the old Superman routine. If you guys don't know, it's the whole concept where he puts on the glasses, fake as they are. They know, everybody realizes, hey, look, he's wearing glasses. He's so unassuming. He can't possibly be Superman. Until he takes off his glasses and reveals the S on his chest, and he goes, oh my God, it's Superman. Get the joke here, folks? But anyone with any kind of common sense would see through it. Which is funny how DC never sees through that shit. Even though Marvel's more, typical.
That woman.
Isn't she the Golden Rakshasa? And that black-haired guy.
Whoa! He's super famous. Huh, it's him.
Seriously?
Oh dear. How unexpected.
The Ashen Chevalier.
No way.
What?
That girl is...
Attention! I will have silence! We will now begin the entrance ceremony for Thor's Military Academy's branch campus. The opening speeches will be omitted. We will begin by announcing class assignments. First, Class 8, Combat Tactics. The instructor is Randolph Orlando.
Right. Step forward when I call your name. Jessica, Wayne, Sydney, Maya. Ash, Freddy, Gustav, and Leonora. You 8.
Next, Class 9, Military Finance. The instructor is Toa Herschel.
I'll call out names now. Sandy, Kyrie, Tita, Louise, Tatiana, Valerie, Muse, Pablo, and Stark. There are 9 of you in total.
Class Class 8 and Class 9. Combat tactics and military finance. Then the ones left over...
Silence! We will now have a word from our principal. Principal?
I am Aurelia Le Guin, principal of the branch campus. As some of you are new to Erebonia, not all of you may be familiar with my name. That, however, is of little concern. A few of you may have noticed already, but I'll spell it out for the rest. This school is a trash bin. Thor's main campus will be welcoming the Crown Prince this year. As such, it will go through heavy reform. This campus is a place they can toss aside those deemed too troublesome, or those with problematic backgrounds. Just like that, all of you, our instructors, and even myself, are here because we have been tossed aside.
Hey now.
No, Principal Le Guin, that is far too...
However, there is a saying, be ever vigilant as though the world is a battlefield. Such a mindset is difficult to learn in times of peace. However, the situation we find ourselves in is a perfect environment for it. Those who lack the resolve to better themselves, to reforge themselves in the fires of adversity, leave now, or you run the risk of leaving later, in Aidios's arms. Very well. In that case, I welcome each and every one of you to Thor's Military Academy's branch campus.
One thing I loved about it is she had a slight chuckle when she said that. You heard it in the very beginning of it. She had a slight chuckle. She was like, okay, cool, I didn't scare him off. Whew.
Arise, O youth, and become the foundation of the world. I greet you with these familiar words from Emperor Drygus.
Well, I'm nice and overwhelmed now, but...
Just where are we supposed to go?
General, Principal. Could I get you to announce the final class?
Huh? Very well. We'll be picking up after the main campus's classes 1 through 6, with our own classes 7 through 9. The 3 of you make up Class 7, Special Operations.
Aha!
Your instructor will be him, Rean Schwarzer.
The previous leader of Class 7. Makes sense. Makes actual sense. Because he was part of the original Class 7. In fact, the whole season, the whole game and everything, like everybody knows him, like they have the group, hey, it's Class 7. Remember originally when they were talking about the reunion of Class 7? That was it.
Wow. I looked over the blueprints, but I didn't think it'd be this big.
Don't get so excited. This facility is nothing remarkable. As I explained before, much of your duties will be performed here under my direction. I expect nothing short of raw talent from a Russell.
Yes, sir.
So, she's a student here after all. I could swear I've heard the name Russell somewhere before. But more importantly... that we're Class 7 is clearly no coincidence. Only 3 students, and she's...
Combat tactics and military finance are undergoing their orientations at the moment. Special operations will be having an orienteering exercise. You must make it through this facility in one piece.
In one piece?
What is this building for? It's called Einhell Keep. It was built in conjunction with the branch campus for testing new methods of training. The interior is fully controllable via Orbal technology and features variable difficulty levels. As for your exercise, you will be combating monsters and such unleashed within the keep.
What?
Monsters?
Now I understand. Special op... I guess this is a fitting enough exercise, given our class's name. And it's not just for my students, either.
It helps that you're quick on the uptake. That said, don't assume it will be the same as the Class 7 you were part of. Rather than an experimental clash between social classes, this one will act as an established task force for assignments in the field. And as its instructor, you will have your students see each assignment through.
It's all starting to come together.
Hold on just a second. We did what you said and came here. But what the heck is all this crap? This is just... I mean, no one ever told me I was being put in some shady Black Ops squad.
Your placement in Class 7 is the result of your aptitude test, Cadet Crawford. If you are dissatisfied, you have the option to pack your bags and return to the Military Police Academy.
That's all the way in Crossbell.
I've yet to accept the situation, but I understand it now, at the very least. Can you give us more details?
Certainly. Instructor Schwarzer and the 3 of you will enter the keep and stand by for further instruction. While on standby, they will explain their qualifications as you brief them on the use of the Arcus II.
Understood.
Bah, finally we can begin the trial. Disciple candidate, don't dawdle. Everything must be up and running in 10 minutes.
Yes.
Damn. Looks like this school's even more messed up than I'd heard.
I'd prefer if non-affiliates stayed off the premises.
Take it easy. I ain't here to cause trouble. As soon as she's done with her orientation, I'm getting the hell out of here.
Very well. You may have been referred here by the royal family, but don't forget your place. That extends to any actions you and your friends will take in the Empire from here on out.
I'd say that's up to you guys, you know? You got a whole country up to its neck in plots and schemes, and then a screwed up school like this pops up out of nowhere. Really makes you wonder who's pulling the strings around here.
I suppose I should have expected as much from an A-rank bracer.
Remember, guys, the bracers were basically adventurers, gatherers of information, all that kind of thing. And the reason why Reen's dad took out the bracers was because they were too good at their jobs. He wanted secrets to be kept
Facility
secret.
full of untested
That was the biggest
mechanisms
reason.
certainly sounds like a playground for the professor. So how much do you already know?
Nothing too specific. The above-ground portion is a cube measuring 50 arch on each side, and the below-ground area is still being expanded.
Are the 2 of you already acquainted?
We are. I just had no idea she'd be one of my students. But that's neither here nor there. Let's start with introductions while everything's being prepped. I just got here earlier today, so I'm sorry I haven't had time to speak with you 2 yet. I'm
why even bother introducing yourself? We all know you're Rean Schwarzer, the Ashen Chevalier. The big hero who put an end to the Erebonian Civil War when he was just a student. Not to mention the occupation of Crossbell. I'm sure everyone in Erebonia knows who you are. Probably everyone in Crossbell, too.
In addition, you resolved incident after incident across the Empire as part of your schoolwork. Then, during the Northern War last October, you worked alongside General Le Guin and Brigadier General Bardius to annex Northumbria.
Le Guin? Like, our principal? Wait, what? And he helped occupy Northumbria?
That's erroneous. The actual circumstances were...
You're both very well informed. Though, calling me a hero is a bit much. I'd still like to say a little bit about myself. As you know, I'm Rean Schwarzer. I'm a graduate of Thor's Military Academy's main campus. I got my diploma just last month, and I'm starting as an instructor here at the branch campus today. I'll be overseeing martial arts and Panzer Soldat training outside the classroom. Inside the classroom, I'll be teaching history. That is, of course, in addition to being the homeroom teacher for Class 7 Special Operations.
I'll go next. My name is Kurt Vander. I'm from the capital. I've heard more than just the common stories about you.
You're a Vander? That would make you General Zex and Lieutenant Colonel Mueller's...
Mueller is my older brother, and Zex is my uncle. Though I'm aware I look nothing like them, right up to my hair.
Yeah. It's true, he doesn't have dark hair or even a similar build.
By the way, are those glasses fake? They don't look good on you at all. You should probably get rid of them.
Oof.
Fashion is clearly not their intended function.
All right, I get it. They don't look good. No need to rub it in. Nice to meet you, Kurt. You're up next.
Fine. Oh, brother. I'm Una Crawford. I transferred here from the Crossbell Police Academy. And honestly, I'd rather not be here. But if that's how it's gonna be, then I'll just have to make the most of it.
Ah, Crossbell. I had my suspicions. So, when you say Police Academy, you're talking about the Military Police Academy, right?
There was no military slapped on the name before the annexation. You guys are the ones who changed it. Are you saying I can only call it by the official name the great and powerful Erebonia has blessed it with?
No, that's not what I meant. Sorry. I was being insensitive.
Well, I might have overreacted. But I still don't accept that name.
Yeah. That's completely understandable.
I'm last then. Altina Orion, formerly part of the Imperial Army's Intelligence Division.
Isn't that classified?
My affiliation with them ended upon my enrollment here. On paper. Please, think nothing of it.
I feel as though I've just heard something I shouldn't have.
The Intelligence Division is pretty hardcore, isn't it? Hold up! What do you mean, on paper?
Slip
Disregard
of
it.
the tongue. Oops.
There's that snark.
Thank you for waiting. Preparations are now complete for the Level 0 Einhell trial. If you haven't already, please set your Arcus 2's...
Is that the girl from earlier?
I was under the impression she was a student, like us.
Understood. Give us just a moment. Each of you were given one of these, right?
Ah, that.
I was sent one, but I haven't turned it on yet.
It's a battle orbment. Normal battle orbments are personal devices that link with their user and can produce a variety of effects. They can improve your physical abilities and allow you to cast orbital arts, among other things. But this is the newest model, the Arcus II. It has a few additional functions. Interesting.
It's a little different from the Enigma models in Crossbell.
To be precise, they are the product of a collaboration between the Reinford Company and Epstein Foundation. I assume these models are combat ready?
Yeah. I'll explain how they work. Now, each of you take one of these.
We get
The Enigmas did have these.
The basics should be the same. Go ahead and set your Master Quartz in a central slot.
Yes, sir.
Here?
I should set mine while they're at it.
So basically, the Master Quartz help with certain stats.
Whoa!
I can feel it working.
Now that you've set your Master Quartz, you're synced with your Arcus units. You should be able to notice a significant difference in combat.
All right.
Okay, now this is new.
How long do you intend to keep me waiting?
Sorry, Professor. We're ready.
Then let's not waste any more time. Level 0 begins on floor B1. The trial will be considered completed once you return to ground level.
Professor, isn't that red love? Sir, you shouldn't use that.
Oh, don't act like you have a lick of common sense. You're Albert's granddaughter. It's time we saw what Class 7's Special Operations is made of. I'm curious to see if you can survive with a passing score.
Hey, watch the floor!
Huh?
What? Right yourself and brace for the landing. Altina, you...
Clown Soleus.
Never mind.
The reason why I think it's funny is that's how the initial concept was, and reenactment of the first game. You'll see what I'm talking about right now.
I remember that professor talking, then the floor opened up.
It was Yuna, correct?
Huh?
My apologies, but if you could move. It's not that you're heavy, but I'm having trouble breathing.
Well then, history repeats itself.
The floor appears to be padded, so bruising should not be an issue. How strangely like the obscene positions you often find yourself in, Instructor Rean.
Please don't say things that'll give people the wrong impression. Oh, wow. I'm surprised you're already calling me an instructor.
That is your current designation.
3, 2...
I assure you, I didn't intend for this to happen. Then again, I suppose intent is irrelevant. I won't make any further excuses. You may hit me if it'll make you feel better.
How very admirable of you. You being so calm about it just pisses me off even, so I think I'll take you up on that!
exactly like the first game.
Erebonian boys are just so... Ugh!
I do not believe his nationality was a factor.
You were just a little unlucky.
Not unlucky. I lacked the expertise to make a proper landing. That resulted in embarrassment for one of my classmates. I admit my
I see. He's so mature for his age. Well, minus one stinging cheek, the three of you look fine to me. So, it's time to begin storming the keep. But first, I'll need each of you to show me your weapons.
This whole thing is a joke, right? Do we really...
I know the professor, and he isn't the type to joke around. He's serious about measuring each of our abilities. I want to learn everyone's combat styles so we can work together and get out of here safely.
Understood. These are my weapons.
Two swords?
That takes skill.
You're using the Vanderschool's dual blade style then. I knew of it, but I've never met a practitioner.
I admit our great sword style has far more notoriety. But that style also requires one to be born with a broader physique. These blades are better suited for the likes of me.
I didn't realize. Well, Yuna, how about you?
I'm still not down for all this, but I get it. This is a military academy, so here you go.
Another dual wielder.
You use side-handle batons?
They look a little more complicated than that. What are they exactly?
These are gunbreakers. Special tonfa with guns installed. Developed by the one and only CGF. They can switch between melee and mid-range firing.
An intriguing weapon.
Crossbell Guardian Force, right? If I recall, First Lieutenant Orlando was once part of it. He'd left long before the occupation disbanded them, though. Good to know. We'll see how well they work in action today. You do seem to know your way around them.
Of course I do. I trained with them at the police academy. And they'll be way more useful than a couple of weapons as old as the Great Collapse.
We'll see where everyone stands once we've engaged in actual combat. You're up next.
Understood.
Hold up. There's something I've been wondering for a while now. Who let a kid enroll at a...
I've been curious about that myself. She claimed to be with the intelligence...
Well, personally, I agree.
There is no need for concern. My physical age is approximately 14 years old. I am no small child.
Physical age? No, you're definitely small.
I also have my weapon, the basis for my admittance into the intelligence division.
What the hell?
This explains that black shadow I thought I saw earlier.
Clown Soleus, a combat shell. The latest version of the line of special weaponry. Further details are classified. Suffice to say, it will contribute to our overall fighting strength.
Are things like that normal in the Empire?
Of course not. It's my first time seeing something like this, too. The Golden Rakshasa, the Ashen Chevalier, and even a girl like her. What manner of place is this branch campus?
I don't blame either of you for having questions, but we can save them for another time. By the way, this is my weapon.
Of course. The Tachi is used by students of the Eight Leaves, One Blade School.
Just like back then. I mean, it's just like the sword Arios used.
Right. It's not an Imperial-style sword. It comes from the East. I guess the Divine Blade of Wind is pretty famous in Crossbell, huh?
A lot happened, but he still has plenty of fans. Even when a certain empire has made him a wanted man.
Yeah, I suppose so. That covers everyone then. Let's be on our way. We're currently on floor B1. If we make it back up to ground level, I'll give you some tips along the way on combat, how to use arts, and your Arcus units. Follow me, and proceed carefully and deliberately.
Okay, let's just go.
I'll give it my all.
Commence mission.
Yes, sir. Just what the heck is all this?
Our chance to attack.
My turn.
Here I go.
I shall go. There. Target's eliminated. Move out.
It's like, it looks like you're gonna have a big trouble, aren't you? You're not helping. And you're gonna get all that kind of those kind of comments and pointed jabs all throughout the game, folks, which actually helps the game so much. Like, it gets tedious at certain points, but sometimes when you play the game, most of the time the game surprises you with a good line here and there, good chuckle. Trust me, guys, it's worth it.
Now, brace yourself. Arcus, activate. Very well. Arcus, activate.
My turn. Arcus, activate.
It's my turn.
Is that all? Ah, treasure chest.
So yeah, certain ones give you certain abilities, others stat boosts. It's pretty simple when it comes to. It's basically crystals like any other game. Give you either powers or stat boosts. Oh yeah, this is the one. Like certain ones have the ability to change their attacks, and they can do stuff like this.
Take this!
I'm up! Huh. Let's go! Huh.
My turn. There.
It's my turn! Sit! Very well. Ha!
Here I go! There!
Now.
I'm up! Sit! All right, nice work.
Damn. I find that funny is like it's like I was only talking about the weapon, the wielder, not so much. It's like, does that sword style of yours have the ability to get your head out of your ass? Oh. Guys, come on.
Take them down! Huh.
Yeah, that tends to happen too.
Very well. Yeah.
Now. There.
Let's go. All right, nice work.
And mind you, if the enemy is strong enough, you could break their shield and do. It's crazy, isn't it, folks? Eventually, you'll get there. We'll get there. It might be this one, because I think this one has a really strong shield. Oh yeah, combat links. I showed you guys that earlier, but I'll show you right now.
Very well. Ha! Yeah! Everyone ready? Sit! Now! Let's go, Altina!
Understood.
Sit!
Yeah.
Here I go! Ah! Nice! We did it!
You've just crossed the halfway point. Best of luck on the second half.
Yes. Thank you. What kind of campus would build a facility like this on site?
Yeah! Yeah! We have the advantage. Yeah!
My turn! It's my turn! Sit!
My turn. Target's eliminated. Move out. Yeah! Yeah! Now. Arcus activate.
Let's go!
Here I go! Arcus activate!
Huh.
Yeah!
Very well.
Yeah!
Let's go! Huh. Everyone okay? Oh, a treasure chest.
I won't go easy!
Sit! It's down!
I'll assist.
All right!
I shall go. Brionac, activate! Fire!
My turn! Strike! Let's go! Crimson Slash! It's down! Let's go, Altina!
Yes! There! Was my support helpful?
Yeah, thanks as always.
Yeah, I did it!
I must train even more.
Stats updated.
Now, bring it on! I'm up!
You guys gotta see this one.
My blade, calm as still water. Now! Seventh slash! Fallen leaves! All right, nice work.
I shall go. Yeah.
Now!
Bring it on! Sit! Let's go! Arcus, activate!
Here I go! There!
My turn. Yeah.
Huh. It's my turn! Get back! Let's go! Strike!
Here I go! Ah! Nice! We did it!
Yeah.
Just beyond there are the doors leading to your destination. Be quick about
There.
it.
Understood. Heading to target point.
Wait a second.
Be on alert. I have detected a spike in mana.
In what?
Mana?
You guys need to get out of there right away!
Is this thing a Panzer Soldat?
No, this is...
Magic Knights.
It's a Magic Knight. An Orbal Golem from the Dark Ages. Professor Schmidt, are you responsible?
I happened to acquire a few of these antique machines when they appeared during the Civil War. Though its output is lamentably inferior to Panzer Soldat's, its ability to act autonomously is used. This will be your...
Is he serious?
What is wrong with him? This is going...
They're not capable of taking on a Magic Knight. Only one thing I can do. Heed my call! Valimar!
The use of a Divine Knight is prohibited for this trial. Level 0 was not calibrated to account for its intervention. Were you to use it against such an opponent, the data I would receive would be useless. You do have another option available to you, Schwarz.
Against this?
Or if you'd prefer, you may choose to activate the new function installed in the Arcus 2.
Please activate Brave Order. Olivier, Prince Oliver said that you would...
I bid you felicitations on your recent graduation. Delayed by duty though it was. I also wish to thank you from the bottom of my heart, Bree. These may seem on the paltry side as a gift for such an occasion, but I'd like for each of you to have the newly completed Arcus 2. I've added some fun little communication features to it, just for you. There are a few other new functions that can only be described as brilliant, so do give them a try next time you find yourself in a pinch.
All right, will do. What is this?
I feel some kind of energy coming from him.
A combat link? No, it's different.
Prepare to engage in combat!
Brave Order. Class 7 Special Operations. Put everything you have into defeating the target.
Yeah!
Watch out! This is a tough one!
Let's go! Raging Fire Formation! Now! Let's go, Altina!
Understood.
Here I go! There! Our chance! Kurt!
Leave it to me!
Yeah!
Let's go! Strike! 8's down!
It's mine!
My turn. There.
I'm up! My turn! Yeah!
It's my turn! Take this!
I shall go. Search mode activate. Detailed information obtained.
Let's go! It's down!
I'll assist.
This is the end!
Was my support helpful?
Yeah, thanks as always. All right, got it!
Yeah, I did it!
I must train even more.
Stats updated.
We did it.
Stamina depleted. A short rest is required.
You guys did amazing! The trial's complete! But you took this way too far, Professor.
That was faster than I expected. I'll have to increase the difficulty next time.
Could you please listen to me?
This trial was completely absurd.
Next time? Is he gonna make us go through all that again?
The probability.
At least that put an end to our orienteering exercise.
Thank you.
Great job, class. You all handled the first test of Brave Order very well. I'm proud of you. There are some areas each of you could improve on, but you just need to tackle them one at a time. I'm sure today hasn't instilled you with much faith in the idea of Class 7. Your class size and this trial are bound to raise some red flags. Then you have an instructor who's only just graduated. What if he doesn't know what he's doing? Like I said, if you want to transfer to classes 8 or 9, I swear that I'll make it happen. But it's something I want you to decide for yourselves.
Think hard about what you believe, what you want to accomplish, what kind of future you want, and, most importantly, who you are. Only you can figure out if Class 7 is the right place for you. Take all that to heart, and I know you'll have your answer.
Una Crawford reporting. From today, I will be part of Class 7, Special Operations.
Really?
Don't get the wrong idea, okay? It's not because I want to. I never wanted to come to this school. I'd much rather be back in Crossbell. I don't like Erebonia, and I don't think much of you either.
So it seems.
But throughout the entire exercise, your guidance was clear and accurate. If you weren't with us, we never would have beaten that thing. Honestly, it's infuriating. And I'm annoyed I couldn't show off what I learned at the police academy. That's why I'm going to stay in Class 7 until I can prove myself. Until I can show up an annoying hero like you, Ashen Chevalier.
She's ridiculous.
At least she's consistent in her ridiculousness.
The annoying part aside, you really don't need to keep calling me a hero. But you know what? I respect that kind of determination. Welcome to Class 7, Una.
Got it.
Kurt Vander reporting. I will also join Class 7. That said, I have no definitive reason for doing so.
Oh?
I simply have no objections to the branch campus's decision to place me in this class. If anything, I'm grateful for the chances it'll give me to test my skills in real combat. I couldn't face my family if I allowed the blades I inherited to rust.
So they're heirlooms?
Metaphorical. He means the will of the Vander school.
I'm also interested in seeing what the 8 leaves can do. So far, I'm not impressed.
Whoa! That's way out of line.
I do not believe you're in any position to say that.
Well, that's because I'm still learning. Just like you guys. Welcome to Class 7, Kurt.
Thank you.
Hmm?
How about you, Altina?
There is no need for confirmation. While the details are classified, I intend to follow the protocols of the mission.
No, Altina, that's not what I mean. The answer needs to come from you.
Hmm?
Does she not understand?
I won't accept your participation unless you chose this. I don't care who originally placed you here, whether it was the principal, the intelligence division, or even the Imperial government. Why do you want to stay? It can be anything.
And it can't be what I said.
Hey! Why are you picking on her so much? I still don't get how you guys know each other, but you can't talk like that to a little girl who...
I can't think of a reason. All that comes to mind is how I've supported you on all of your operations this past year. If I'm to be at the branch campus, it is only right that I be in your class. It was also Class 7 who once stood in the way of my mission. Even if the students have changed, I find myself somewhat drawn to the name. Does that work?
It works
because
for
it came
now.
from you.
I'm glad you're staying, Altina.
Okay.
Oh, brother. You sure drew that out.
It's been one thing after another.
I now officially declare the formation of Class 7 Special Operations. Let's all work hard and grow together. Not just as a class, but as comrades.
That was so sweet, Rain.
I was wondering how things were going down here.
Foolish. No instructor has the authority to change a student's placement.
If any of them wanted to transfer, I would have allowed it.
Principal Le Guin, with all due respect.
Everything worked out, so it's fine. Didn't you hear? They decided for themselves. Classes 8 and 9 had a good start, too. Not bad for a trash bin. The coming days will be very interesting indeed. Train our fledglings well while you can. That is, if you don't want them to be swept away by this turbulent era.
Of course.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeesh! This is some school I landed myself in.
Damn, he's even worse than Gramps. Coming here to study is crazy enough, but you sure you want to work under that old goat?
Don't be like that. He's actually pretty amazing. And I feel like I'll be able to make a lot of friends here. But most importantly, I want to do all I can in place of everyone who couldn't come to the Empire.
Look at you, all grown up and doing your own thing. Guess I can't call you short stuff anymore, huh?
Oh.
Our old enemies are definitely on the move. Not just them. The Imperial government and a few other groups are up to something too. Thank the freaking goddess that dumbass was around to help me set up a long-distance line. If anything happens, I'll be here in a flash. Don't hesitate to call me, Tita. You got that?
You bet. But only if you promise me you'll be careful, Agate. Don't do anything too crazy.
I see. For both the main and branch campuses?
Yes, their first day ended without incident. Class 7, Special Operations, Class 8, Combat Tactics, and Class 9, Military Finance have all been established.
Man, oh man. Just when I thought we finally shoved that beast in a cage, Erebonia's #1 sweetheart just had to show up wanting to be an instructor.
Indeed. Between them and a certain capable young woman, there's far more talent there than one would ever expect from a trash bin. Perhaps there wasn't a need to send him there from Crossbell so soon after all.
Who do you think you're fooling? We all know why you really sent him. But whatever, a powerhouse like him will come in handy.
I'm not sure this is appropriate.
In any event, the wheels are now in motion. With Northumbria's annexation, every bush those serpents would dare hide in has been burned to ash. They have no choice left but to try and reclaim their master's plan. As for the branch campus, that pitiful final act of rebellion from a prince who's lost his blade and his wings. We shall simply have it, and my worthless son, dance at the end of our strings.
Your Excellency.
Laying it on kinda thick, don't you think?
By your will, Excellency, we Ironbloods will see your ambitions are fulfilled.
As crudely as they mention this stuff, they actually like Reen. But the problem is they can't just favor him. That's the problem.
Whew. I think the connection's finally gone through.
Yay, it worked! I never dreamed I'd be able to talk with you all like this.
Indeed. His Highness was too kind to arrange this feature.
Doesn't look like Reen or Gaius came through. Could be they're too far away. Oh, or maybe somewhere where the signal's super weak.
No matter. I'm sure we'll have more than ample opportunities to speak with them in the coming days.
That's right. And we can finally fulfill our promise. Well, you sure are fired up.
How could she not be? This is the season for reunions, after all.
Yeah, spring is here once again.
If they actually made it into an anime, it would be a sick anime. I love how they actually put it Guys, if you're listening to this and if you guys see it, do us all a favor and make the anime. I would love to check it out. It'd be very extensive, to be honest. If it's gonna extend all throughout all the games, it's so worth it. And each game would be like a season. That'd be plenty of material right there. It's alright. I felt like that one was going too far. Anyway, thank you guys for checking out my video. I sincerely appreciate it. And I love you all. Take care, guys, and you've been wonderful. Be good out there, like always. Remember, the magic is within all of us. All we have to do is release the beast and go for it. Take care. Love you all. Candor, your favorite neighborhood gamer genie, out like a light.